Hey guys, I'm Mike with Desert Rat 2000, and today I'm going to adjust the solid lifters on my 235 six-cylinder on the 53 pickup. And so I've got this little sheet that I made up here. I'll show you guys what I got here. It is two stages that I'm going to use to do this at. First time around, I'm going to bring number one up to top dead center, and that will allow me to do the exhaust valve I have down here. This whole bank is exhaust, then intake, and exhaust, and so forth. I'm just going to pay attention to this. Here's the cylinders, 1, 2, 3, 4. So on this, when I bring top dead center up, I'll be able to do both the exhaust and the intake on this cylinder. And I'll be using the an 18 feeler gauge on the exhaust and a 6 on the intake. And I'll also, when I'm on top dead center for number one, I'll also be able to do number 2 intake, number 18 exhaust, number 4 intake, number 5 exhaust. And then when I roll it over, and you'll notice that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rocker arms or 6 valves out of 12. When I roll it over and do 6 at top dead center, then you'll see that I'll pick up the ones that I missed when I did number 1 at top dead center, and then those also are 18 on the exhaust, and so forth and so on. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the valve cover off of here and roll the engine up over to top dead center on number 1 cylinder. Okay guys, so I'm going to be bringing number 1 up now to top dead center. I've got my rotor facing over here. Number 1 is right about over here, and so I'm just going to roll the fan over, and I will just be waiting for number 1. I've got the plug out, so I will, and plus I'm seeing rocker arms moving on number 1 right now. It should be coming over to the compression stroke right now, so I'll be able to feel that with my finger. So you hear that? So I'm just going to bring that over and then bring my timing mark on the flywheel right to there. Now if I rock these, these are both, see, number 6 is rocking, so we got number 1 is at top dead center now. So I'm going to grab my feeler gauges here, and I'm just going to give a test it out and see where I sit on this thing. Remember, a noisy valve train is a happy valve train. So I got number 1 exhaust is right out here, and she's a little bit tight, yeah. And my intake, it feels good, but that exhaust is tight, and I don't like that. So I'm going to get this ready to loosen up, and then we're going to make an adjustment here. Okay, so I loosened the exhaust. I've loosened this rocker arm on the exhaust when I'm number 1, and yeah, it was a little snug, so I'm glad that I'm doing this adjustment right now. So I've got my gauge, my feeler gauge is slipping in there easy, and I'm just going to tighten this down until I'm right there, and then I'm going to come in with my 5/8 wrench while holding this in place and just go ahead and tighten this guy down right there, and then I'm going to go to my box in where I get a little bit better grip on it. These have been curved over a little bit, I noticed, but I'm going to go ahead and tighten that up right there. And oh yeah, real nice. Now we got it. Okay, I got the exhaust one there. And I'm going to go down and I'm going to get number 6 intake right here. Number 1 intake, I'm sorry, at 6. And that feels good. That's fine. Then I can go down and I can get number 2 intake right here. And there again, she's snug. So we're going to loosen her up right here. And then I can just simply spin this, and I like her right there. That's perfect. Yeah, I think she was definitely ready for a valve adjustment here. Yeah, we don't want these exhaust valves tight, that's for sure, because that'll beat the seats out of the heads. So anyways, I'm going to run on down and get a few more of these, and I'll bring you guys back in a little bit here. Okay, so I got all of the valves adjusted on, half of them are done now. I did it on number 1 cylinder, so now I'm going to go ahead and roll this over, and we will get number 6 coming up on top dead center. We'll also get the timing mark to come in the window over there, but I'll also have all the valves number 6 valves won't be moving. And let's see, there's my mark coming up right there. Okay, so number 1 is moving, but number 6 is not. So they're ready to go. Now the next set of these are going to be, I'll go down and do this bottom one now. So I'm going to start off with, I could actually do intake and exhaust on number 6, and then intake on 5. So I'll get those ones started now. So intake on 6 is, that's a little snug. And then I exhaust on 6. I'm going to have to get up and in here a little bit, it looks like here. And, yep, exhaust is tight on there. And exhaust is really tight on number 5. So, okay, I'm going to shut this off and get those done, and I'll bring you guys back. Okay, guys, so I got all the valves adjusted here, and I double-checked. I accidentally loosened number 5 up when I was on the second sequence on the exhaust, so I had to run it back over to number 1 and get number 5 exhaust again. I had it out of whack there, so I got that all back now. So I'm taking some lacquer thinner, and I'm going to hit the top of this, the head where the gasket seats up here. And then what I'd like to do is actually seal the gasket to the head rather than to the valve cover, because these 6 cylinders sit at a little bit of a angle back, and they like you to have the gasket glued down. It dams the oil up from going past the gasket. So I'm going to put a little Permatex on the gasket and let it sit for a little bit in there. And oh, there's the grandson. He's playing basketball. He's kind of helping me mechanic at the same time that he's playing basketball. So okay, guys, I'll bring you back here in a little bit. Well, guys, it got a little dark on me out here. I had a lot of bunch of guck in the valve cover and everything, so I'm out here cleaning it up. I'm going to run out of daylight, so I'm going to just put it back together, and then I'll fire it up when I'm doing another, probably working on that back piece to the bed. I'll open up the hood and hear let you hear it running after the valve adjustment. So yeah, okay, another thing I was going to mention though is I can see why they don't want you to go with a detergent oil when you've been running non-detergent for a long time, because there's a lot of this stuff that cakes up in these engines and you don't want it to you know, break loose and get into the oiling system. So yeah, okay guys, well, appreciate you watching, and I will comment on this one if the valve adjustment helped at all, and look forward to doing a lot more on the truck. So okay guys, comment and subscribe.